Okay, welcome to part two. We're going to look at a little bit newer technology, but still just a really antique and quite a rarity. You guys may have heard about these, but a lot of you younger guitarists probably have never seen one of these, and it's not like I've been around forever. These machines were in existence for 15 years before I even showed up, and obviously 30 years before I ever picked up a guitar. But my fascination with the old analog technology has really led me to collect this kind of stuff. What we see here, this is a Gibson GA4RE. It's a reverb echo unit. That's what the RE stands for. It came out in about '65, roughly. It's maybe 2 years newer than my amplifier. Made in Kalamazoo, Michigan, completely tube-driven. And it uses Tel-Ray's oil can. They called the system an add-in echo, and I will hopefully put that on the screen there. You can see what it says, and I'll try to post a couple pictures of what it looks like inside while I describe it. I would love to open this one up and show it to you, but because these are fragile and old, I really don't want to take it apart since it's working so well. Finding these units in working order it's difficult. And usually you have to buy a non-working one and pray you can find somebody who knows how to work on it. I was able to find somebody to fix the tube circuit, and I had to research and fix the oil can myself. This is basically, the reason they call it an oil can is there's what looks like a can, it literally was a can, mounted inside the unit, and there's a spinning disc in there that has a capacitive magnetic capability. It can hold a charge, a signal for maybe a second, half a second, and you can it has these neoprene wipers and oil as an insulator. So there's actually oil in this can spinning up against the disc. So it's actually these neoprene rubber-looking wipers rubbing against a spinning disc and a spinning can of oil. The technology is actually called capacitive line delay. These were made probably in the early 60s. Early to mid 60s. Gibson. This is Gibson's version. The original ones were Tel-Ray, which is now Morley. There were some Morley versions later, and there were some other ones by Fender. They had a series of different oil can delays, but just really a cool technology. The Gibson unit doesn't have variable speed, but it does have 3 different speeds. That's the dry sound, and then I can bring in the reverb. I'm on setting number 1. Which is, you can hear it, this actually produces a slapback style echo, and that speed is not changeable. It's kind of a, I don't know how many milliseconds that would be, but it does have a real kind of a cool vibe to it, and makes you kind of want to play a little rockabilly. And again, we'll compare that just back to the dry sound of the guitar. You know, so you can really hear that echo really does produce. Mode 2 is going to be the longer delay. And I can really get some nice long repeats out of that. And then mode 3 is really cool because it's a combination of mode 1 and mode 2. You put the two together, and this actually almost creates a vibrato effect. And I'm going to really need to bring it up so you can hear mode 3, but it really creates a cool vibrato. It sounds really neat with chords and things. And that is not me playing with the Bigsby in the least. all of that vibrato sound is the unit itself doing that. So all of that vibrato sound you hear is the unit itself creating that. And that is a Tel-Ray oil can style delay. This is the Gibson GA4RE. Pretty darn rare. They command an astronomical amount of price, but if you can find one that works, really cool effect. And there's nothing that really sounds quite like it. They've tried to emulate it, but when you've actually played a real one, you pretty much know there's no substitute. The Gibson units were not necessarily the most versatile. They did come up with some more versatile ones later, but they were known as some of the quietest. I mean, I'm not getting a lot of buzz and rattle and things out of my system. So on to the third, and arguably it came out about the same time as the oil can, but the technology and the design was a little older, but the portability was the new in thing. And I think we all know what that is, so on to part 3.